Have you ever felt stuck wondering how you can attract high-paying clients to your video business? If that's the case right now, then you have landed on the right video. In this video, I'm going to break down what we call the ideal client progression and show you the 4 levels of actually attracting different types of clients, and also help you identify why you're probably attracting the low budget clients so you can stop attracting them and start attracting the clients that value your work and actually pay you what you're worth. So if you're interested in learning about that, make sure you stick around to the end. And hey, if you're new here, my name is Ed Settles. We've helped over 200 videographers and video agency owners scale to 6 and 7 figures through paid ads and systems. On this YouTube channel, we bring out videos like this every single week. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button just yet, hit that button below now so you never miss one of those trainings. And as we're going through this training, there's also a resource down below that you can grab a copy of. So make sure you grab a copy of that as we're jumping into this video. So let's jump into the iPad and get started. So the ideal client progression is a combination of 4 layers. The first layer or level is what we call the bleeding level. This is where you attract startups, business owners, side hustle business owners, and this is usually where most people sit. This is where we call it the low budget clients, right? This is great at the start when you're very new to video and you're learning the craft and you're wanting to get some pro bono clients, you want to get some people on board. This is where a majority of the market is, right? See how wide it is? A majority of the market in the business space actually sits within this spot. At the start, it's great to get your feet wet, but this is where a lot of your friends, referrals are actually coming from. And the thing is, when you get started, you keep attracting these types of clients because you keep taking on the work that's nearby, because you get referred from a friend to a friend and someone else in the market goes, hey, this person he does it for a really good price. And what happens is we sometimes can get strapped here where we keep attracting the low budget clients. So being aware of this is the first step. Usually startups, side hustles usually fit in this category where you are working with clients that are bleeding. When I say bleeding, they are new to business or they don't have a lot of cash and they're actually bleeding cash flow. And that's what bleeding means, is they don't have the expenses to actually invest $5,000, $10,000 plus into the video services that you're looking to sell them. They've got a budget of $500, $200, maybe $1,000, maybe $2,000 when they're first getting started. In the early days, this is usually where we start, but going forward, to move out of this, we've got to start to understand what are the levels above and think about what are the problems that go on those levels above. So the second layer is what we call the slipping layer. And the slipping layer is all about understanding where entrepreneurs and small businesses sit. So the way I kind of see this is there's 2 types of markets that kind of sit in this area. A solo entrepreneur, that's someone who's a business owner, probably got a successful business, maybe it's doing 30, 40, 50K plus per month, and it's just them, and maybe they got some contractors. Could be a coach, consultant, an expert, it could be a small accounting firm. It's usually a business that isn't that large, but is in a growth stage. The other one is small businesses. So this could be local cafes, this could be businesses that have been around for a while, but they're never really global. They're not expanding, they're basically in a local area. And this is where a good percentage of the market sit. Now, the difference between these 2 here is usually this market, when they're slipping, is like they don't necessarily not have the money for video, just their budget for video is not large, right? They still spend money on the service, but they're not going to be spending $5,000, $10,000 plus in this kind of space here because cash is still tight in this kind of level of their business. But they do need video. And this is where I see a lot of our clients when they first start working with us usually start in this area because most of the people they're attracting are getting out of the startup phase and they're probably 2 or 3 years into their business and they're looking to expand. So it's not a bad market to be part of. This is where majority that I see a lot of videographers sit, is in the slipping market. It's where they're kind of slipping backwards, but what they need is a video marketing strategy. Some of these clients here, don't get me wrong, can have the money to be in the next couple levels I'm about to explain, but sit in this category because they're slipping backwards and they actually need video, right? So that level there, slipping level, this is where budgets, they might have a budget between 2 to 3K for some video content. Below here is like 0 to like $1,000 when it comes to their budget, right? The next level is what we call the stable level. Now, this is the ideal level where you're going to reach majority of the market. When they're stable, that means they've got a successful business. Their business is running without them. They've got a team. They don't need video to pay their bills. They need video because they want to expand. These are your small to medium businesses. So it can be similar. It can be a solo entrepreneur. But when I usually put a a bracket of how much they earn per month, they're probably earning 50 to 100K per month in their business. So that's around about $500,000 to $1 million a year minimum in their business. That's what I look at the low end. And the high end, they could be earning $2-3 million. So this is some construction companies, your lawyer firms, accounting firms, bigger real estate agencies, some of these bigger brands that have a team of even 5 to 10 people in their team fit in this category. These businesses are usually stable, and their budget for video is usually between 5 to 10K plus, right? And that can be a retainer price point, but that's usually the spot where I see a lot of these businesses sitting. Their problem is slightly different to the slipping. When they're stable, they know they're stable. They want growth. One of the key things that they're looking for is growth in their business. And the way that they'll speak to you on a sales call is they go, hey, we really want to expand our reach. We're opening up a new office space. They're in a bit of an expanding part of their business, right? And these are typically your favorite ones to work with because they see the value of video, they have the money to invest in it, and they also have the resources to be able to provide that video legs. And what I mean by legs is they can actually post on social media, they've got a marketing team, and they're a little bit easier to work with compared to the slipping type of market. The last market we have is the larger businesses and the bigger brands. Now, in an ideal world, this is where you want to get to, right? You want to work with these big brands. This could be like Nike, Apple, Adidas, some of these big clothing brands, big businesses. These businesses have a lot of money and they will drop 50 to 100K plus just on videos. Now, that sounds cool when you think about it. However, the reality is the percentage of people that are actually up here that you can get in contact with as a starting videographer are very hard to get to. Not saying you can't do it, just the journey to get there is longer, unless you've got some sort of foot in the door or some sort of referral. Especially when you're running paid marketing, a lot of these bigger brands, this is not something that we actually teach our clients to go after because they're a lot harder to go and get. Where I kind of see the sweet spot, and this is for most people that we coach and mentor, and what I would say even in this training, is you want to go in for more of the stable and potentially the leading. Slipping. When you see the slipping, don't see that as a bad thing. Their budget might not be as high, but they can grow to that. If we think about it from a retainer standpoint, these guys are probably 2 to 3K per month on a retainer. That's a 12-month retainer. So you're looking at 24 to around about $36,000 a year. In the stable, we're looking at a 3 to probably 10K retainer price point. Again, it's depending on the problem that you solve. Up here, you're looking 10 to 50K plus per month retainer. This, in theory, sounds really good when we think about that top level, but the honest truth is it's such a hard market to get to. It's a lot more fun though, getting these markets here to go up to that leading level. And this is what I love about marketing and what I love about sales is, as a videographer, you are part of their marketing engine. You get to build brands. You get to help them become leading industry experts, leading industry brands in their space. And this is the cool thing is you could be working with the next Nike that's slipping that really needs your content strategy. You could be working with the next Amazon that's stable business, it's got a good structure, but they're wanting to expand and open up different branches. And because they're investing in video with you, they're able to do that. And this is where, when I look at the ideal client progression, neither one of these is specifically bad in terms of working with them. It's just different levels that we can start to attract. And this is where, if you're wanting to start attracting high budget clients and people that spend more money with you, you got to decide which level do you actually want to work with. And I can tell you right now, on paper, it sounds good to go and work with the big ones, but I don't know about you. The pressure that you're going to have on working with these bigger brands when you're starting out is a lot of pressure. The pressure here is overwhelming. My suggestion is looking at these two markets here as like the sweet spot. This is where I see the sweet spot is solo entrepreneurs, small businesses, and then the small businesses to medium businesses. And if you can find the sweet spot in the middle where you should be able to get a really good price point between 2 to 5K per month on a retainer. That's where we see a lot of our clients actually getting a lot of their work from, is from that middle kind of tier where the client's kind of slipping backwards. They're not fully stable yet, but they need to invest in video to grow to that next level. And they see video, they have the finances to invest in it. The bleeding clients you want to avoid like a plague. They're the ones who ask for a discount. They're the ones who are a startup. They're your candle shop makers. They're the small businesses that just don't have any resources to invest in video. Usually that's where you get started. But if you want to get out of that, you got to start thinking, who are these types of businesses? Who are those? Who can I start attracting? What are they thinking about right now? And the key difference between all these levels, each one of these levels have different ways of explaining the problem. At the bleeding level, they're strapped for cash. So they talk about, hey, we don't have cash coming in. We need to do a marketing campaign to get clients today. At the slipping level, they go, hey, we know that the brand's not standing out. We're not standing out from a competition. We're potentially falling back. From the stable level, they go, we're not happy where we are. We've had some great success. We want to get to that next level. And the leading level is where they're the authority. They want to keep being the authority. They want to keep being Apple. They want to keep being Nike, right? So hopefully this training's been insightful and valuable. It's pretty much all I have to cover in today's training. If you've gotten value from this training, I'd love to know in the comments down below and what future trainings you'd like us to see covering on this YouTube channel. And hey, if you haven't checked out one of our other YouTube videos, there's some links around this right now that you can click on to show you how to scale your video business to 6 and 7 figures in the next 12 to 24 months, if that's something you wish. So go check out that other free training over there, and that way you can go and learn more about how to actually get your business to that next level. Other than that, that's it for this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below if you've got any questions, and we'll see you in the next one.